Okay, so I'm hoping that this is working. Hi. um, for the PLE conference, the PLE Conf, Ricardo Torres Compen, my dear friend, Hola Cariño, has asked me to answer a few questions about personal learning environments, and so I'm going to try to kind of answer them quickly and sort of off the top of my head. Um, So, what is your personal digital learning environment? He asks. Well, up until shortly a few years ago, it was actually comprising of many websites that I visited. But these days, it's really the thing that I'm holding in my hand right now. It is actually my mobile phone. That is the place where I access all of my other services. And so it used to be the web, which I access via a browser. I used to live in my laptop, and now I live and learn in my hand, and it's been quite a shift, and it's made me a lot more flexible. What are main obstacles, you ask, for building and maintaining a personal digital learning environment? Well, I think that the main obstacle, and it's not one that can be easily overcome, is the fact that services come and go. And they will rise, you will start using them, and then you might transfer to something else, or it may not be continue to be supported. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think this is something that can easily be overcome. I think instead it's something that it's a skill that we must learn, that we come to accept the fact that things won't be permanent. And I think that might be something that us who grew up in a non-digital um, environment where things were very solid, like books, and even VHS and things. It's much more difficult for us to actually let go of that and just accept that information is now abundant but also ephemeral. Um, how has your use of technologies changed in the last 5 years? Well, I already mentioned that the biggest thing is the fact that the technology is now in my hand, or actually in my purse, and it's usually with me wherever I go. And so that's the first thing. And I think the second thing has really been, for me, that my use of Twitter has made an incredible difference, not just in how I learn, but it's made an incredible difference to my professional career as well. It's given me opportunities that I otherwise wouldn't have had, because I was able to network, I was able to do my work more efficiently, I was able to be more knowledgeable about my field, and that's opened doors. I think Twitter, other social media to some extent, but mainly Twitter, and the fact that yeah, all of these people, all of these knowledge workers who are, the clever, the smartest people in the class, are now just, in my hand or in my purse, has made a tremendous difference. And what are my views on the personal learning environment versus the virtual learning environment, or the LMS, as we say down under? Do I think that the LMS is dead? I actually think that institutions will continue to need an LMS, and I think we will continue to need it for some very good reasons. We need some place where the teachers and the learners can all come together, a base camp to start out from. I think we need it to do administrative tasks, and I think we also need it to do some things that require security, like assessment, which we will continue to do. But I think they need to become much more flexible. I think they need to become much better at integrating, at having APIs and integrating, with other tools, so that they can be more flexible and more agile and actually roll with the punches, of the rise and fall of social media tools. So I think, and I've written about this in a blog post, I think that the future of the LMS is as a social media mixing panel. And so I don't think it's dead. I just think it's going to have some plastic surgery and come back prettier and more useful. So thank you. Thank you, Ricardo, for giving me the opportunity. Thanks to all of the PLE conference participants. Always great to connect with you, even if we're here in Melbourne and you're over there in Aveiro. And I'll see you all online. Thanks.
Hello and welcome to my lair. This is where all the creative stuff happens, in this space here. Grania Canole has sent me some questions to answer, as if I haven't got enough work on already, Grania. But okay, in this instance I will help you with your unkeynote. So here we go. First question: what is your personal digital learning environment, and how do you use it? Well, I use a lot of different tools. I use Twitter, I use my Blogger account, I use WordPress, I use various other tools like YouTube and Flickr. I use a Flipcam, which I'm using at the moment. I use a variety of different tools to actually help me to connect with people that I really want to connect with around the world, people like you listening in today perhaps. Question number 2, what are the main obstacles for building and maintaining a personal digital learning environment? Well, firstly, ignorance, the fact that people often don't know what power and potential there is to these tools. You know, the ability to connect, to discuss, to amplify content, all of these are quite important, and if people don't know about them, then they're not going to use them. And the other thing that I find is really difficult about people using Twitter is they don't persist long enough, they don't stay the course, and therefore they don't ever realise the potential, the critical mass, if you like, which they need to have if they're going to get onto Twitter and use it properly. So persistence and learning, I think, are the two most important things there to actually remember. These are barriers, ignorance and lack of persistence. Question 3, how has your use of technologies changed in the last 5 years? Radically. It's changed a lot, because 5 years ago, if you think about it, we didn't really have a lot of the tools that we've got now. We didn't really know much about, you know, Twitter. We didn't know much about Facebook. We didn't know much about tagging or about sharing videos or Flickr images. That's changed incredibly, I think, and for me personally it's paid huge dividends, because I've managed to build up quite a considerable kind of network of people that I rely on and who follow what I'm doing as well. So I think that's really important, that in 5 years things have radically changed. And finally, question number 4, what are your views on the PLE versus VLE debate? Now, this is where I start to get really animated, because as some of you know, I've been involved in lots of different debates over the years with this, you know, the idea that VLE and the PLE are opposed. Actually, I don't think there is so much a binary. I've been role-playing a lot, trying to play the devil's advocate, trying to get people discussing this, but I think there's more of a kind of a spectrum between the institutional VLE and the personal learning environment. I think, though, that the VLE, if it has any weaknesses, one of them is the homogenization and the ring fencing of content. The idea that universities and colleges and schools want to protect their content and only allow it to be open to people that are bona fide, and also the idea that one size fits all, which patently is not true. This is why a lot of students vote with their feet and go off and they use the VLE when they have to, and they use Facebook and other tools when they want to, and that's, I think, the main difference. But there are loads of other differences as well, which we won't go into now because we haven't got time. I hope that's fine, Gronya. Hope you have a great keynote, and I hope everyone enjoys themselves in Oviedo and Melbourne. God bless you all.